into Buy Now Sell Now with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Kanishka Sarkar. In the next 1 hour, we'll get all your stock-specific questions answered on a show by our experts. But first up, let's take a look at how the market is really shaping up. Kanishka, another day of not much happening on the market. In fact, we are now below 24,650 levels. Is also something that we have been not been able to sustain so far. We have just given a minor, very minor recovery, but nonetheless it's another day of lackluster trade coming in on D Street. In fact, Nifty Bank right now is trading with cuts of almost 130 odd points.
That's right, Ankita. Like you said, there's no respite from that red color when it comes to the market. In fact, if you look at the Nifty, it's down about 0.1%, slightly still better. It has recovered from the day's lowest point, trading at that 24,650 level. Sensex, on the other hand, that is also witnessing cuts of about 0.2%, trading at that 80,736 level as we speak. Nifty Bank, on the other hand, that is also seeing similar cuts, 0.2% cut coming in for the Nifty Bank, trading at that 55,960 level. It's off that 55,000 and 56,000 level. If you take a look at the broader indices, now the NSE advanced decline ratio, that continues to be in the favor of declines. Now coming back to the benchmark indices, let's take a look at all the top losers that are contributing to the losses and limiting the gains. First up, BEL, that's down almost 2% in today's trade after that big miss on revenue front. Although we did see the results of the company yesterday, while it did do better than expectations on profit, EBITDA and margin front. On the revenue front, it was a big miss. It saw gains of saw revenue jump by 5%. However, our poll had expected a jump of 14%, so a big miss coming there. Some of the other losers on the Nifty 50 include Eternal, Axis Bank, Bajaj Finserv and TCS, of course, after that layoffs news that we have been seeing. Sectorally, let's take a look at the trend sectorally. Only realty, pharma and metal is the space that is holding on to the green. Otherwise, all sectors are in the red, with Nifty, IT, media and PSU banks leading losses. So that's how the sectoral snapshot is looking like, but largely a trend in the red coming in for the markets. Ankita?
Well, absolutely. It's again a day of reds as far as the Indian market is concerned. But let me get on board our guest also. Lakshmikant Shukla is the technical analyst, institutional research, Yes Securities, who's joining us now. And also, we also have another guest, Rajesh Agarwal, who's the head of research, AUM Capital, who's joining us. Hi, good morning to both of you, and thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started with all the questions, let me come to you, Lakshmikant, especially on the technicals. Yesterday, by the end of the day, by the end of the trading session, we actually broke below the 24,700 level, an important support level that we were watching out for. And today we are not even managing to hold on to the 24,650 levels. On the Nifty Bank also ditto, it's following suit. What are the other levels to watch out for? And is this correction, how long is this correction likely to be on the charts?
Good morning, Kanishka, and good morning, Rajesh ji. So, talking about the market, as this is the fourth consecutive day where we have seen the formation of lower tops and lower bottom, and Nifty has also breached its 23.6 Fibonacci retracement levels of its prior upwards rally, starting from the low of April toward the September month high. So, as in today's session, although market Nifty tried to recover some of its losses, but when it reaches toward the levels of 24,700, so then after it has again seen profit booking, and we would see that now market could retest the levels of 24,470 to 24,500, where it's 20-week simple moving average is placed along with the previous month swing low, which we have seen on the 30th of June toward the levels of 24,470. So in our perception, we see that Nifty could fell lower toward the levels of 24,470 to 24,500, and on the upper side still I think 24,900 followed by 25,050 could act as the strong resistance until we see any recovery of the levels of 24,900. We remain tentative and we would see further decline, although we could see some sort of stability near the zone of 24,470 to 24,500 zone. Even if we look at the structure of Bank Nifty, so in yesterday sessions it has defended the levels of 56,000, but in today's session if it get close below the levels of 56,000, then it could give a further breakdown toward the levels of 55,500 to 55,100 in the upcoming sessions.
Right. Right. So those are the levels to track as far as benchmark indices are concerned. Before we get started with our queries that our viewers have been sending us and our experts are here to answer them all, let's put the spotlight on something very important. Now, the beginning of every month often marks key financial activities, salary credits, bill payments and planning expenses. But just as we plan for our expenses, it's equally important to plan our investments. Now, to encourage this habit, SBI Mutual Fund in collaboration with Times Network is launching a nationwide investor awareness initiative, Bharat Nivesh, Behtar Nivesh, Behtar Kal. The objective of this initiative is to promote the habit of consistent investing among Indians, helping them secure their financial future. Now, as part of this campaign, we are observing 4th of every month as a monthly reminder to ensure that you start your mutual fund SIP and ensure your existing SIPs continue. So go on and set your reminder to invest consistently and stay committed to your goals for the financial well-being of you and your loved ones.
Peter, on the other side, we get started with all the questions. Keep sending in your questions. We'll get them answered by experts on the other side. Stay tuned. The show where we get all our stock specific questions answered, but one stock that is in focus today, and that is Motherson Wiring, that has reported its quarter 1 numbers. If you take a look at the financials, we do see the revenue that's down 0.6% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. We also see the PAT that has declined almost 13% on a monthly basis and on month-on-month basis, and also margins that are down 114 basis points and 101 basis points on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But now let me get on board the management of Motherson Wiring, Gulshan Pahudra, the CFO, and Mr. Anurag Gehlot, who's the COO of Motherson Sumi Wiring India, who are joining us. Hi, good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Anurag, let me come to you first. Now, you've delivered a double-digit growth this quarter. Do you see this momentum as sustainable going forward? How is the demand scenario looking like? Take us through all of that.
See, for quarter 1, as you have seen, that market has grown by a single-digit number, where we have grown by 2 digits. And this is mainly due to 2 or 3 reasons. First is the volume growth, which is a single digit, and then content is growing. And third is that our presence in the new models as well. And obviously, we have outperformed the market. This is a good news. And Q1 historically remain a little subdued, and Q2 and Q3 start picking up back again when the festivities starts. And if you see in the past also, it's a good sign that Q2 and Q3 picks up accordingly. Another major point is that the way Q1 has sold the vehicle, I'm talking about the retail, approximately more than a million vehicle has been sold in the second consecutive year this time. So sentiments are positive, and as we are also having with 3 greenfields, and there are going to be new launches, which is going to happen in Q2 and Q3 and Q4. The ramp-ups are going to happen. So then we have a more clear picture in H2 that how the market looks like.
All right, so watching out for those launches. Hi, gentlemen. This is Kanishka also joining in. Now, Gulshan, coming to you, let's talk about margins. Now, they have seen some pressure in the quarter gone by. If you could help us, highlighting some of the key factors that have impacted the margins, and how do you see them expanding, given the copper price pass on will happen, but on the other hand, new plants can be a drag?
In terms of the growth, yeah, we have been outpaced the market, and we have been grown double digit. In terms of the margin, coming to your specific question, like in terms of the margin, I would say if you just remove the impact of the greenfield expansion units, we have performed well. We have grown from 11.7% EBITDA to 11.8 this time. However, in terms of our major contribution to the cost, if you see, we are pretty consistent in our overall cost and the margins also. And you also see in our results that there's some of the plans from the customer sides have been deferred, due to which there are certain costs which are coming in the current quarter, which impacted our margins at an overall level. Though, I mean, once it starts ramping it up, we are back with the same margins as we there in the existing units.
Right. Anurag, let me come to you. Now, the EV contribution has been over 5% to your overall revenue mix this quarter. How do you see the share evolving over the next couple of years?
See, EV has grown from previous year to this year, and it has now around 5.4% approximately. And there are new projects which are going to launch or which are in the at this moment in the SOP stage. And coming forward in the Q4 also, there are new projects which are going to launch into these new greenfields. So EV is definitely on the cards. And the numbers are going, we have to see that how the numbers are going to grow, how the consumer is going to react to these models. And then we have a more clear picture by the H2 when these launches will finish. And then we have a more clear picture on how the numbers are growing into this. But definitely for MSWIL, we are ready for with our capacities to take care for the EVs. So anything new or any volumes comes up, we are definitely going to take care of that.
All right. Now, since we are talking about greenfield projects, I also wanted to know from you, Gulshan, when do you expect the new greenfield plant to reach its optimal utilization levels?
Presentation also, I mean, there are a couple of three greenfield expansion units which are currently ongoing, and it has been deferred as per the plan from the customer. However, I mean, out of them, I mean, one of them is as per plan Kharkhoda. I mean, as we speak, I think this is something we will be seeing that very soon in the second quarter. But as soon as the things will ramp it up in the subsequent quarter, we will see the better side of it, and these numbers will be reflected in our overall volumes as well. So I think it will take some time, but we're just at this moment, I think we have to wait and watch at the customer side, because it has been deferred from their side. Yeah.
All right. On that note, thank you so much for joining us and weighing in on the numbers for Motherson Wiring. Well, that was the management of Motherson Wiring giving us a guidance of what's what's ahead for the company and the numbers for the quarter gone by. But let's get started with the show then. Now you can keep sending in your stock specific questions. The number is now flashing on top of your screen. You can ping us on that number and get investment analysis on your holdings and tips for fresh buys in the market. Write to us as soon as possible. And now let me get on board our guests, Rajesh Agarwal, Head of Research AUM Capital, and Lakshmikant Shukla, Technical Analyst, Institutional Research, Yes Securities, who have joined us. Let's get going with all the stock specific questions then. Let me come to the first question. This one's coming from Venkat Rao is writing in from Visakhapatnam. He says he holds CDSL, 90 shares at a buying price of 1,710. He's sitting at a huge loss clearly. At what price can he average it? Please answer. Lakshmikant, let me come to you for this one. On the technicals, he wants to know if he can, what is the price that he can average in, or do you suggest cutting losses? What would be your recommendation on CDSL?
To the weak result, yesterday the stock has seen gap down opening, but I think this is the good time to accumulate this stock, as this stock has reached toward its 200 DMA, which is placed around the zone of 1500. So we expect some sort of pullback move if it able to defend this level of 1500, and we would see upside momentum towards the levels of 1620 to 650. So I think this is a good time to accumulate this stock, and even RSI is trading near its oversold zone. So from where we could see some sort of pullback move. So I think even at current level, one can add this stock and can hold this stock with the stop loss of 1,420.
That's the view coming in on CDSL. But moving on, Rajesh, now coming to you. So we have a viewer, Bharatwaj, who's writing from Coimbatore. He has 700 shares of Exide at a price of 363 rupees. He wants to know whether he can add more at the current levels. He is looking to hold for another period of 2 to 4 years.
Kanishka. Good morning, Lakshmikant. Exide as a stock is a very good for a long-term horizon. The company is doing very well. They have a lot of OEM tie-ups with almost all two-wheelers and four-wheelers manufacturers. And apart from that, the OEM market is growing very well. Once the auto number starts picking up, we will see better volumes coming in. And not to forget the kind of expansion they have been doing into the EV space too. So all in all, with a strong balance sheet and a strong product profile, with a strong brand, I think Exide is a good long-term bet. For a 2 to 4 years horizon, it's a very good buy. One can buy at these levels too.
Exide, buy call coming in on Exide, but let's move on to the next question. This is coming in from Hyderabad by Satyaveni. He says he wants a technical view on AU Small Finance Bank. His the buying price is 810 rupees, and BEML that he's bought at 4,360 rupees. At what price can he average in? He wants to add in more to AU Small and also BEML. Lakshmikant, what are the levels that he can average in?
So first, talking about AU Bank, so this stock has seen a back-to-back bearish kind of formation for the last 2 weeks, but now it is showing some sort of stability near its recent swing low of 720 followed by 700 zone. So I think till it hold up the levels of 680 to 690. View will be positive, and we could see some pullback move toward the levels of 770 to 790. So I think even this is the good time to accumulate this stock at current level and keep the stop loss of 640 on the downside. And as long as it holds the levels of 640, we would see pullback move. Fresh buying momentum could trigger once it crosses the levels of 770. Then afterward, we could see 820 upcoming levels in this stock. Now talking about BML, so if we look at the whole structure, so we have found that this stock has been forming rounding a top kind of pattern. So one should wait for the levels of 3,700 where its bullish crossover is seen.
All right, so that's the view on BEML and AU Small Finance Bank. But moving on, let's go and get another query answered. Now, this query is on Jindal SAW. Our viewer Vijay has 110 shares at a price of 240 rupees. He wants to hold the stock for another 6 months. Lakshmikant, what would you suggest? Should he continue to hold? Okay, I think we are getting some audio connectivity issues. We'll have Lakshmikant join us back again. Rajesh, now would you like to take this question? Hi Rajesh, can you hear me? Okay, Rajesh, I'll just repeat the question for you. So we have a viewer, Vijay, who's writing about Jindal SAW. He wants to know whether he can continue to hold the stock for another period of 6 months. He has 110 shares at a price of 240 rupees. What would your view be?
Yourself, I think we can't hear you. I guess there is some technical error, but we'll get you all the questions answered after the break. We'll get the issue sorted and we'll be back with your questions being answered on the other side. Stay tuned. all the stocks and the questions that you have sent us. Now let's move on to the next question. This next question is coming in from Ghosh Subrata, who's writing in from Delhi. He wants to know about Bharat Forge. He's bought it at a buying price of 1,250 for the long time. What is the future for Bharat Forge? Rajesh, Bharat Forge, is that a long-term bet for you?
Yes, it's a very strong company from the Kalyani belt, and previously the problem was more focused on auto and class 4 trucks. They were having issues from US market, but now they have moved into defense too, and that division is going to do very well in the near future. So I think at these levels, it has already discounted all the negative news associated with the company. It's just a matter of time, just it starts moving up. Somebody looking for a time horizon, maybe 12 to 18 months, it's a good buy at these levels.
All right, so that's the view on Bharat Forge. Now shifting focus from the defense space to the realty space, Rajesh. Now we have a viewer, SK Saran, who's a senior citizen writing from Bangalore. He wants to know your view on DLF. What is your view? What would you suggest as the entry price? And he wants to hold it for the long term. So what would your suggestion be to him?
So he is a senior citizen. I think you should avoid reality as a sector because there's its own inherent risk, considering the inventory issues, sometimes the corporate governance issues, sometimes interest rate issues. It's better to go for housing ancillary companies like a housing finance company and all. But still, if somebody is insisting to go for a realty stock, I think DLF with all lot of debt being repaid, premium projects being sold out in a hurry, I think one can go long on this, but the entire sector is facing some kind of correction. So what I would say is wait for some more correction, maybe around 750, 740 odd levels would be a good levels to enter.
740 levels, a good level to enter for DLF. But let me get on board our next guest who was already also joined in. There was the glitch there, but Lakshmikant has managed to join us back. This one's coming from Pratik from Goa. He says he holds 125 shares of Titagarh at a price of 850 rupees. He says he wants to know if he should be holding it or adding more for the next 6 months to 1 year time frame. Lakshmikant, this is for Titagarh Rail. Can he add more at this juncture?
After 5 to 6 days of decline, the stock has retested its 100 TMA levels, which is placed around the zone of 820, and then after we have seen some sort of bounce back move in this stock. So as long as it holds this level of 820, I think one can add this stock and can wait for the bounce back move toward the levels of 870 to 900. 900 to 950 zone. So I think that would be the upcoming resistance level, and even we think that one can add at current price also with this stop loss of 820 and can expect upside momentum toward the levels of 900 to 950.
All right, so that's the view on Titagarh Rail. But Lakshmikant, we were discussing that query earlier about Jindal Saw. Now this viewer Vijay has 110 shares of Jindal Saw at a price of 240 rupees. He wants to hold the stock for a period of 6 months. What would your suggestion be? Any 6-month target that you can give us?
Looking at the weekly and monthly chart, this stock has made bearish kind of formation, and we expect that it could trend down to retest its previous swing low of 199 to 200 levels. So I think he should exit from this stock and rather buy some good other stock from where it could get good amount of returns. Or we will negative in this stock till it hold to the levels of 240 followed by 255 zone. And as long as it hold below this level, it could retest its previous swing low of 199. And if we get a decisive close below the levels of 199, then further correction is possible in this stock toward the levels of 170 to 165 zone.
Right, so that is Jindal Saw on the charts. But moving on, this is another one who's asking for a technical view. This is Venu, who's a senior citizen from Chennai. He wants a technical view on Yes Bank. He's stuck around rupees 20 for months now. Is it a good buy at this juncture, Lakshmikant? Would you recommend buying Yes Bank at a current juncture?
So due to compliance issue, I am not authorized to give recommendation for the Yes Bank. You can have a view of Rajesh ji, so he will tell you he can give you the right suggestion.
Then Yes Bank, a good bet, especially at current levels?
Is it for me?
Yes.
See, depending on your time horizon, if you have a long-term time horizon, I think one can go long on this. Considering the fact from the last 3-4 quarters, the numbers have been improving, asset quality has improved, and all the legacy issues has been taken care of. And at these prices, I think the risk-reward ratio is in favor of a long-term investor. But once again, I would like to say, since this bank has its history of all the issues, so one should have consider his own risk appetite before going in long into this. But for a longer term horizon, I think around 20% upside from these levels in the next 1 year is quite possible.
All right, so those are the levels to watch. That kind of upside is expected when it comes to Yes Bank. But coming to you now, Lakshmikant, we have a query on Cochin Shipyard. This year, Renuka Thomas is writing from Kerala. She has shares of Cochin Shipyard at a price of 1,350 rupees. She wants to know whether she should sell at the current juncture or should she continue to hold it for a shorter period of time ahead.
This stock has seen some sort of profit booking after making the high of 2,545, and then after we have seen consistent formation of lower tops and lower bottom. But if we look at the weekly chart, so now it is approaching towards its 50-week moving averages of 1,635. So I think till it hold this level, we would see a bounce back move in this stock. So till it hold the levels of 1,630, she should continue to hold this stock. Once it reaches the levels of 1,630, then after she could think to make exit from this hold position of Cochin Shipyard.
That's the view coming in on Cochin Shipyard. But let me come to you then, Rajesh. This one's coming from Rajapan from Trichy. He says that he has SBI at a buying price of 450 rupees. He wants to know if he should continue to hold on to it, or what is your opinion on it? He's already made a profit here. In the long term, do you see SBI moving up? Because SBI hasn't really done much, in the last 6 odd months. Do you see more some upside coming in on SBI?
See, we have a buy call on this. The bank has been doing very well. The numbers have been doing good. With RBI cutting rates, infusing liquidity, I think just it's a matter of time when credit offtake starts taking up. So entire PSU basket, based on the fact that they have a good bond portfolio, and not to forget the FM has given direction sometimes back of monetizing the subsidiaries. I think SBI is in a very sweet spot. At these levels, I think valuations are also very good. Depending on your time horizon, if your time horizon of 12 to 18 months, yes, it's a good buy. One can go long on this.
Okay, so that's the view on SBI. But Lakshmikant, now coming to you, our viewer Ignatius from Kolkata has written to us about Indigo. She has 20 shares of Indigo at a price of 4,859 rupees. She wants to know whether she should add at more at the current levels, and what levels should she be watching out for. She's been holding the stock for a period of about 1 year.
This stock is still trading in the bullish territory, although from last few days this stock has been forming lower tops and lower bottom. But if we look at the broader structure of this stock, which is still trading in the positive territory, so we expect that dip on the side of 5,640 to 630 zone would be the right levels to go long in this stock, where its 50-week moving averages is also placed. So we expect some sort of stability there, and if we find a reversal kind of pattern, then after we could see pullback move in this stock, and this stock could able to resume its upside momentum once it crosses the levels of 5,950 to 6,000 June. So according to me, I think 5,600 to 5,630 would be the good level to take a long bet in this stock.
All right, moving on to the next question. This is again on the technical. So this is Nikhil Sharma, who's writing on from Mumbai. He says he's an intraday trader and he wants to know on Crompton Greaves, he's bought 100 shares at a buying price of 356 rupees. The target that he's predicted for it is 372. Now he wants to know when is the right time to really exit the stock, or is it better to hold on to the stock? And are these levels achievable? Lakshmikant, 372 on Crompton.
The if we look at the structure of last few days, the stock has been trending down with the formation of lower tops and lower bottom. So our view will be negative until we see any decisive move. The levels of 345. So 345 is the strong resistance for this stock. So if it will get clear this level of 345, then after we could see upside move toward the levels of 365 to 370 zone. However, on the lower side, the levels of 315 could act as the support. So till it hold this support of 315, we could expect upside move. However, we need to revisit the stock once it reaches the zone of 340 to 345 again.
All right, so those are the levels to watch as far as Crompton is concerned. But on that note, we'll take a very short break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. We'll be right back with more of your queries to be answered on the other side. $1,000 shares of BHEL at a price of 260 rupees. They want to know whether they should add more shares at this current price or should they average what should be the average price as in when they plan to sell?
So BHEL started hovering near this 200 DMA levels, which is placed around the zone of 230 to 233. And current price is trading around 236. I think 230 is the appropriate level from where one can make the long position in this stock, as risk reward ratio is looking favorable, and if it able to hold this level of 230, then we could see pullback move in this stock toward the levels of 255 to 260. So even at current levels, risk reward ratio is favorable, so one can take long bet in this stock for the upside target of 255 to 260.
All right, so that's the view coming in on BHEL, but let's move on to the next question. This is coming from Sridhar from Coimbatore. He says he wants your view on Dalmia Bharat. He's bought 50 shares at a buying price of 2,350 rupees. What is the rate that perhaps he could make an exit? Rajesh, let me come to you and get your view on Dalmia Bharat, because he's not given us a holding period. But what are the levels? What do you see for Dalmia Bharat, and what are the levels that we can see perhaps in the next 1 or 2 years to come?
See, we have initiated a recovering report in this company some time back, and we had a target of around 2,500 odd rupees by the end of this financial year. That's April 2026. So we stick to our targets. Company is doing very well. The capex has already been done, and with the new capacity coming in, the numbers are going to be good. Although this quarter the numbers needs to be will be subdued because of the monsoon, which is a property of the entire cement pack. But considering the fact that the realty space as a whole is doing well, infrastructure is growing, I think all cement companies are going to do well in the long term. Dalmia Bharat, as such, with the kind of capacity it has, with the kind of product profile, I think it can go to around 2,600 odd rupees.
All right, so that's the view on Dalmia Bharat. Thank you so much, Rajesh and Lakshmikant, for joining us today and helping us with your expert views for all the stock-specific queries that our viewers have sent to us. So that's all the time we have today to answer the queries. On that note, we'll let you go. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today. All right, then let's shift focus to some national stories as well. Now, after a fiery day one in Lok Sabha, the spotlight now shifts to Rajya Sabha for Operation Sindhu debate, where Amit Shah will lead NDA's charge while Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi, they are expected to speak from the opposition bench. Times Network's Pragya is joining us now with more details.
this is going to be a power-packed Tuesday, I would say, in Parliament today. And in fact, Mr. Amit Shah, Union Home Minister, would be beginning the debate on Operation Sindoor in Lok Sabha. He is scheduled to speak at 12 o'clock in the noon. And in fact, we are also expecting big, names from the Congress side as well. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and KC Venugopal. Three of the names that Congress said that they would be speaking today in the Parliament on Operation Sindoor. This is going to be very, I would say, the fiery speeches we will be listening to in the Parliament today on Operation Sindoor. And not just that, Prime Minister is also scheduled to speak around 6:37 when the debate concludes. And not just that, Rajya Sabha will also be debating Operation Sindoor, and we are expecting Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge from their side, Mr. JP Nadda from the Treasury benches. So all the top guns will be speaking on Operation Sindoor. This is a narrative war that we will be listening to. In fact, there are many questions that have been raised by the opposition in the Parliament yesterday, and each of them have been categorically answered by Mr. Jaishankar and Defence Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh. And while Mr. Amit Shah also spoken, intervened, in fact said that you need to listen to a person who is a senior minister and is speaking under oath. You also need to take government word, because that has been spoken under oath in the House of the Parliament. This was an address to the opposition when Mr. Amit Shah rose and intervened when Mr. Jaishankar was heckled. We are expecting a very fiery speech from Mr. Amit Shah as well, a very, castigating remarks on the opposition as well for trusting the opposition, for trusting Pakistan and not their own government when it comes to diplomacy, and also when it comes to the facts of Operation Sindoor and the action taken by the government. So it's absolutely a power-packed Tuesday. We are going to be listening to the both sides and the fiery speakers, and also, as far as the post goes, LOP is also going to speak on this.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. Kanishka and I will take your leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go anywhere. Markets at noon. Up next.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
When the stakes are high and the